Worry, it's something we all deal with, isn't it? At some point, it creeps into our minds, gnaws away at our peace, and makes life more complicated than it needs to be. But what if there's a better way? That's exactly what Dale Carnegie's timeless classic How to Stop Worrying and Start Living is all about. It's a guide to freeing yourself from the chains of anxiety and embracing a life of calm, focus, and fulfillment. Today, we're diving into the key principles from this book and how you can use them in your everyday life. Let's start with one of Carnegie's most memorable lessons: live in day-tight compartments. Imagine your life as a series of compartments, like watertight rooms on a ship. The idea is to focus entirely on the present day, what you can control right now, and shut the doors on the past and future. Carnegie isn't saying to ignore your long-term goals or never reflect on your experiences. But too often, we waste precious energy worrying about things we can't change or control. By focusing on today, you free yourself from regret and fear. Ask yourself, what can I do right now, in this moment, to make my life better? It could be as small as making a to-do list, tackling a simple task, or even just taking a deep breath. When you live in day-tight compartments, you'll find that worries about yesterday and tomorrow fade into the background. Another powerful strategy Carnegie shares is what he calls the magic formula for handling worry. It's a simple, three-step process that helps you address any problem head-on. Step 1. Ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? Step 2. Prepare to accept that worst-case scenario if you have to. And Step 3. Calmly work to improve on that worst-case outcome. Let's say you're worried about a job interview. What's the worst that could happen? Maybe you stumble over your answers or don't get the job. If you can accept that, then you can focus on doing everything in your power to prepare. Practice your responses, research the company, and plan your outfit. By facing your fears logically, you take their power away. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, you're empowered to take action. Carnegie also emphasizes the importance of keeping busy. It's one of the simplest yet most effective ways to stop worrying. When your mind is occupied with meaningful tasks, there's little room left for anxious thoughts. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how worry seems to creep in during moments of idleness? When you're busy with work, hobbies, or even helping others, your mind is too engaged to dwell on what-ifs. But here's the key: staying busy doesn't mean keeping yourself constantly distracted. It's about focusing on activities that matter to you, that bring you closer to your goals, or that simply bring you joy. Whether it's learning a new skill, volunteering, or spending quality time with loved ones, meaningful engagement can transform your mindset. Now let's talk about gratitude. It's easy to get caught up in the negatives: what's going wrong, what's missing, or what could go wrong in the future. But Carnegie reminds us to take a step back and focus on what's going right. He shares the story of a man who transformed his life by writing down 3 things he was grateful for every day. Over time, this small habit shifted his entire outlook. You can do the same. Take a moment each day to reflect on the things you're thankful for. Maybe it's something as simple as a good cup of coffee, a kind word from a friend, or a peaceful walk outside. Gratitude rewires your brain to look for the positives, and it's a proven way to reduce stress and boost happiness. One of the biggest sources of worry for many people is criticism. We all want to be liked and respected, but the fear of judgment can hold us back. Carnegie offers a refreshing perspective: criticism is inevitable, especially if you're doing something meaningful. He quotes Aristotle, who said, "Criticism is something you can avoid easily, by saying nothing, doing nothing, and being nothing." The key is to handle criticism constructively. First, determine whether the feedback is valid. If it is, use it as an opportunity to grow. If it's not, let it go. Don't waste energy on baseless negativity. Instead, focus on your goals and remind yourself that no one's opinion defines your worth. Another transformative concept in the book is what Carnegie calls putting a stop-loss on worry. This idea comes from the world of investing, where a stop-loss order limits how much money you're willing to lose on a stock. Carnegie suggests applying the same principle to your worries. Set a limit on how much time and energy you'll spend fretting about a problem. Once you've reached that limit, move on. For instance, let's say you're upset about an argument with a friend. Decide to spend 10 minutes reflecting on what went wrong and planning how to resolve it. Once those 10 minutes are up, shift your focus to something productive. Worrying beyond that point won't solve the problem, it'll just drain your energy. The book also highlights the importance of maintaining both mental and physical health. Worry takes a toll on your body, and a stressed body fuels a worried mind. Carnegie suggests practical steps like eating well, exercising regularly, and getting enough sleep. These might sound basic, but they're the foundation of resilience. When you're physically healthy, you're better equipped to handle life's challenges with a clear and calm mind. Carnegie also shares the idea of accepting the inevitable. Some things in life are simply out of our control. Instead of resisting reality, learn to accept it and adapt. He tells the story of a man who went blind and initially sank into despair. But over time, he chose to focus on what he could still do rather than what he had lost. This mindset allowed him to rebuild his life and find happiness again. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It means focusing your energy on what you can change and letting go of what you can't. It's about finding peace in the midst of uncertainty and moving forward with courage. Finally, Carnegie encourages us to cultivate a sense of humor and a spirit of curiosity. Laughter is one of the best antidotes to worry. It lightens the load and reminds us not to take life too seriously. And curiosity keeps us engaged with the world, helping us see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles. So, what can you take away from all of this? Worry is a natural part of life, but it doesn't have to control you. By living in day-tight compartments, analyzing your worries, staying busy, practicing gratitude, and taking care of yourself, you can transform how you approach challenges. Remember, it's not about eliminating worry completely, that's impossible. It's about learning how to manage it, so you can live a calmer, happier life. Dale Carnegie's lessons are as relevant today as they were when he first wrote this book. The principles are practical, timeless, and accessible to anyone willing to put them into practice. So, the next time worry starts to creep in, remember, you have the tools to take control and start living fully.